Hi guys, T Davis Cole here with another Wealthy Mindset audio. And this audio is all about becoming an internet marketing superstar. Alright, so how many of you out there want to become an internet marketing superstar? The guru, right? The place where people come for valid information and advice and tips on how to leverage themselves on the internet. Alright, so in this audio, I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to talk about branding your way to stardom. All right, so we'll be discussing a couple of things. All right, so talking about why you need a compelling brand story, and we're also going to discuss the elements of your highly converting brand story. All right, and also free enterprise, your great exchange. And I'm also going to talk about how to create valuable content that keeps your fans coming back for more. And you'll also learn how you can build and maintain lasting virtual relationships with your customers and clients. Excited because we're talking about online stardom, and today I'm going to talk to you about the exchange of value. All right, so today's objective is to help you create valuable content that will keep your fans coming back for more. All right, and we're going to discuss today how to create valuable content and setting your intention. That's very important to know what your content is supposed to do, the art of showing. So we're going to talk about those three things: how to create valuable content, setting your intention, and the art of showing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because you want to brand your way to online stardom. Okay, so creating valuable content. One of the great ways to create valuable content is to be sure that you're reading. Okay, read at least 30 minutes a day. All right, also listening to internet marketing podcasts and getting both personal and spiritual development every single day. I don't want to leave out the physical development as well. That's really important. All right, so attending niche related webinars is another way to create valuable content, joining mastermind groups, and investing in environments larger than your own self. Okay, so let's talk about that, reading 30 minutes a day and what that actually will do to help you become an internet marketing superstar, to help you create content that keeps your fans coming back for more. All right, so when you read 30 minutes a day, you expand your way of thinking. All right, Les Brown said your best thinking has gotten you exactly where you are today, meaning that if you want to reach a higher level of thinking, to reach a higher level of living, all right, you got to go somewhere else, right, to unlock some things that are probably already inside of you, but to build upon that. So he's saying your best thinking has gotten you exactly where you are today. So if you want to know more, you got to expand it. All right, you got to expand your way of thinking. So reading literally opens your mind. It opens your mind to new horizons, and it assists you with obtaining knowledge that can speak directly to you, can spark new ideas, can innovate the way that you are thinking. Okay, so let's talk about listening to internet marketing podcasts. What does listening to internet marketing podcasts have to do with becoming an internet marketing superstar? All right, so when you listen to internet marketing podcasts, well, you access the most successful online entrepreneurs in internet marketing today, which will help you literally collapse time frames by leveraging their knowledge, leveraging their level of skill, and understanding their successes and failures. All right. So if you were able to be coached by Les Brown or coached by Tony Robbins or coached by, even though Jim Rohn is deceased, if you had had the opportunity to be coached by Jim Rohn, I mean, that is what their content does. When you listen to their podcast, because a lot of them have podcasts, and like there's a ton of information still online about, Jim Rohn and different people. All right. So if you just take the time to listen to their audios and books and podcasts and different things like that, I mean, that is literally you being coached by them primarily for free, or if you buy series and packages and different things like that, you're still getting like you're only paying a fraction of the cost to get all of the things that they have to offer, or the things that they have said or done in the past that's created them success, or to be able again to collapse those time frames and avoid those deadly mistakes that could literally ruin your career. All right, so that's very important. And let's talk about that spiritual and personal development. What does that do as it relates to helping you become an internet marketing superstar? All right. So that's the foundation, right? Your spiritual and personal development is the foundation to your success, because personal and spiritual development keeps you whole and it keeps you stable as a person. Okay. So you can have a whole and stable business. I always tell people, who get caught up into the make money, make money, make money. Life isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't even promised to you. Okay. Things can happen, right? That could land you in a position that you did not plan on being in. All right. So having that spiritual and that personal development keeps you grounded when things are like going chaotic, or even when things are going great, right? Because if you gain a lot of money, and you don't have a foundation, well, then you may end up spending all your money or losing all your money, and not having that foundation that grounds you as a person of who you are, right? So you got to develop yourself every single day, spiritually and personally, okay? Because that's really where your values and stuff lies as well. So attending niche related webinars, and talk to you about that and how that can help you become an internet marketing superstar. Because when you attend niche related webinars, you connect with other like-minded people, okay, in person, and you get access to that energy, to that real raw entrepreneur energy, okay, and you learn things that literally keep you on the cutting edge of your field. All right, and it helps you to learn new presentation styles and discover more ways to reach your target audience. Okay. All right, so joining mastermind groups is another great way to become an internet marketing superstar. All right, so two minds are always better than one, right? So mastermind groups allows you to brainstorm, all right, and gain quality feedback. A lot of times when you're just bouncing things off of your own head, it's just one way. But when you look to others who are have expertise in the same area that you have, and have a different outlook, a lot of times you can gain that quality feedback, because they're there to help you, take your ideas to the next level. Okay, so you'll also discover weaknesses and strengths associated with your business plan while gaining valuable insight for a more successful venture. Right, so when you join mastermind groups, they may be able to help you find those things within your plan, little holes that you probably didn't even realize that was there. Okay, so that's a great way to become an internet marketing superstar. It's like you have a team behind you. So invest bigger. Invest bigger is another way to become an internet marketing superstar. What does that have to do with online stardom? Because when you spend money, point blank, you've got to know that money is an investment. It's an investment into who you are. You got to invest in your continued education if you want to remain competitive. As you invest in others, you'll increase in value and others will invest in you. So if you have a cheap outlook on your education, then you're going to attract the same kind of people who don't want to pay anything for their success. When you think about college and think about how much it costs for one semester of college, when you talk about books, transportation, whatever it is that you need, tools and things that you need to complete the course, you have to spend the money to get the degree. Well, for some strange reason on the internet, people feel that they should get information for free and they don't have to pay for it. That is the biggest mistake you could ever make, because you get what you pay for. If you don't invest in your knowledge and understanding of the market, if you don't invest in your knowledge and understanding of your niche, then you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position, because you don't have the education, you don't have the degree to go out and do the things necessary for you to achieve the success that you want. You're also telling the universe, and you're also sending out energy signals that you're not an investor. So therefore, you're going to attract, again, those same kind of people who aren't investors as well. So if you expect people to buy your products and buy your services, well, you need to make sure that you're investing in someone else's products and someone else's services. And you always want to invest in someone who's like a mentor, or someone who's doing a lot more than you are, because you want to be, again, that big fish in a big tank. You don't want to be the big fish in a little tank struggling to survive, because you don't have enough oxygen, because you're not growing as a person, you're not growing as an entrepreneur, you're not growing as a business person. Okay, so spend money, point blank. You got to invest in your continued education if you want to remain competitive. All right, so here's a great way to become an internet marketing superstar. Set your intention. Guys, I remember when I first started on the internet, I did not set any intention for anything. I just started a blog. I had an idea of some of the things I wanted to do, and I saw a lot of gaps in the marketplace and within my niche, and I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't set an intention for my content. I was just blogging, just putting stuff out there. Today I think I want to write about this. Tomorrow I think I want to write about that. Well, you guys, you got to have a strategic plan as you are creating content audience. And that's what all the foundational things that you've already learned about your target market, about keyword search, about collecting your analytical data, and being sound as a person. All those things that we have gone through has led you to this point, so that you can really set your intention as far as your content for your audience. Okay, because you got to think about, why is this content needed? It's not about you. It's not about, oh, I just want to write this article, or I just want to do this, or I want to do that. You have to think about your audience and think about what are their needs, and think about, why is this content needed? Okay, so you also need to think about the value that you're providing. What value am I providing if I write this piece of content, or if I make this video or this audio? All right, so like today, I know that this content is needed. I know that you need to understand how to become an internet marketing superstar to your audience. You need to be that star that has the answers to their problems. And I understand the value that I'm providing, because I'm showing you the importance of understanding your content and understanding what it is that you're putting out in the marketplace, and how is that going to make a difference in the lives of those consumers that you are sending the information to. Okay. So what call to action am I aiming for? So these are some important things to think about. Why is the content needed? What value am I providing? What call to action am I aiming for? Guys, you have to have a call to action in your content. I remember when I first started, I was just making videos. I was just doing stuff with no aim, no real understanding as to why I was doing it. I just felt I wanted to encourage someone today. I wanted to help someone today, but I wasn't literally gearing my content to a place where it was helping someone, but also calling them to action to make a difference or make a change in their lives. Okay, so when you're doing your call to action in your content, after you have thought about why the content is needed, the value that you're providing in the content, all right, when you're aiming for that call to action, make sure it's only one call to action. Guys, that could save you so much time. It was the biggest mistake I made when I first started blogging. I would have a link, click here to do this, click here to do that, taking people all over the place. When you are writing your content or creating your content, make sure that it strategically leads to one call to action. Do you want them to subscribe to your email list? Do you want them to all that where they can connect with you or one of your agents? Okay. Do you want them to go to your website? Okay. What is it that you want the person to do who's reading your content? So please make sure that you don't waste your time doing all these things that are like kind of chaotic and all over the place. Like I think I have about maybe 14 blogs out on the internet right now. Okay, I still have to go out there and either completely delete some blogs or refurbish the content to a place where it's strategically, for a reason. Okay, even though the content's good content, is it really speaking to the audience? Is it really something that's needed? Is it really calling them to an action that can literally solve the problems that they're having? Okay, guys, this is a really big one. The art of showing. The art of showing is an awesome way to become an internet marketing superstar. All right. The art of showing is telling your audience, I'm going to teach you to do something. So as you're creating your content, what are you going to teach your audience to do? Okay. That's very important because the more content that you create that shows them something they can apply to their lives today, something they can apply to their businesses today, okay, the more content you create like that, the more they're going to come back. But if you're just randomly talking, there's no real point as to why you're talking. You just wanted to get on camera because you were feeling inspired today and you wanted to share with them how wonderful you are and how great your business is and how awesome your opportunity is. That's not going to cut it. Are you going to show them, here's 3 ways to improve your online whatever? Okay. So, right, give them the 3 ways that they can apply right now. Okay. Or you can stick to 1 way and then have them subscribe for the other 2. So what are you going to teach your audience? All right. And they got to be able to apply the techniques that you're teaching them. So one rule of thumb is to make your free content better than any paid content that you know within your niche, and make your paid content simply explosive. Okay. So that is a tip to go by. And they got to know that they can access more value. That's what's going to prompt them to the call to action, is that they can get more value from what you are saying. Okay. So that is all the things that can help you become an internet marketing superstar. When we think about stardom, and even in the book below, you can read about, really what superstardom is. You think, oh, this is exciting. I'm going to be this great figure within the marketplace. I'm going to be this person that people look up to. I'm going to be famous. Guys, all of that stuff comes with a price. Sometimes building an online business can make you feel like you wish you never had a dream, right? Because there's work involved. There's dedication involved. When you think about the superstars out there who perform, a lot of times when they're on tour and all of these different things, they have to sit up at night. They have to practice. They have to work. They have to write. They have to do all these different things. Sometimes superstardom doesn't feel so great, but because you are the person, the go-to person who your niche market is coming to for a specific topic, you got to be on top of your game, right? So you want to be that superstar to them. And that literally means it's not really a flashy thing. It's really saying that I have made the sacrifice to do the research to help you in this area so that you don't have to do it. I've solved the problems that's keeping you up at night. I'm going to be that person, that go-to person that can literally pull you out of the gutter, pull you out of the bottom wells of your dream, and help you accomplish your goal. It's a serious thing, guys. It's not just about a cute banner with a nice blog post and a cute video. This is about helping people in their lives, helping them build their businesses, helping them do whatever it is that you do. All right. So guys, if you want to be an online superstar, I want to make sure that you understand that is vitally important, that you exchange value. All right. So that's what it is. It's the exchange of value. I always tell my clients, Don't expect $1 million payday off of $1 value, right? If you go to McDonald's and you buy an ice cream cone for $1, and then you go and you try to sell that ice cream for $30, it's not going to work. Why? Because the ice cream is only worth $1. When you start to think about your content, think about the value that you're providing for your audience. Think about what is it that you're giving them that can negate that. Okay, it's okay for you to pay me this money. First year and a half on the internet, I didn't charge for my services at all, because I was learning and I wasn't at a place where I felt that my services were valuable enough to charge anybody any money. Now, I'm not telling you to make that same mistake. I'm telling you that if you're at that place where you're still learning, maybe you need to pick up an affiliate offer, all right, that you can sell while you're building your business. Okay, maybe you can write a little ebook based on some things that you know and sell that while you're building your business. But all I'm telling you is that if you're going to charge people money, make sure that the value is there. Make sure that the content tells them how to do something or shows them how to do something that they can apply to their lives right away. Guys, when you start to think that way, when you start to think, what can I do for the people, not what the people can do for me, JF Kennedy. Okay, when you start to think that way, all right, then that is when you're going to start to see yourself, transition into that online superstar. All right, guys. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've gotten a lot out of it. I hope that you have truly learned how to create valuable content by helping your customers learn something new and being able to provide that value. I hope that you know how to set your intentions now and that you understand the art of showing within your niche. All right. So guys, be sure to go on to the next video and I'll see you there.